All right, so getting back to prejudice and how prejudice ends up occurring. So you have the concept of just world phenomenon, which that's the scenario that we looked at in class, where you had the woman who was sneaking out late and she was either having an affair or volunteering as a nurse, and you had to rate when she was murdered. Like, was it her fault? Was it somebody else's fault? So that's good things happen to good people, bad things happen to bad people. On your quiz, that's, oh, well, if you're unemployed, it's because you're just lazy. Okay, then you have in group versus out group. So in group are people who share some kind of common identity. In group bias is where you no, I do not. Where you favor your own group. That is not for you. Weston's here after school. So and then out group is people who are different from your in group. You also have the concept of scapegoat theory, which people look for someone to blame when things go wrong, and that usually has to do with prejudice. So like after 9/11, here people in the US started like being verbally abusive and lashing out at Arab Americans because like everyone was all the same. And so like that's what scapegoat is. Y'all should know what scapegoat is from the movie. Ways to combat prejudice, you have contact theory. So contact between hostile groups reduces animosity if you have to work together towards some kind of superordinate goal. So like I said, that's one way of doing it. That's when your shared goal overrides differences. Okay, so that's what superordinate is. Prejudice can also lead to what are called self-fulfilling prophecies. So when you're looking at a self-fulfilling prophecy, that's basically a prediction that causes itself to be true. Like if you're sitting there studying tonight, like, oh, I'm going to fail this test tomorrow. Guess what? You're going to fail because you kind of like overthink and just overanalyze and do a lot of stuff. And so you make something happen, even though that's not really what you wanted to happen in the first place. Blah, blah, click through pictures. But I don't know why they're on here. All right. So also needing to know aggression. Two big types of aggression. You have instrumental aggression and hostility aggression. I think y'all are pretty good with what aggression is, right? Like it's pretty self-explanatory. Where are you? So hostility is when you feel pain, anger, and frustration. Instrumental aggression is aggression that's caused by satisfaction of obtaining a goal. Black Friday is instrumental aggression. Pro-social behaviors, this was on your quiz today, which was bystander effect. And that's where individuals are less likely to help in an emergency situation when other people are present because there are other people there. I don't really have to do anything. So the more people around, the less chance you have to help somebody. And so this was on your quiz today. This woman, Kitty Genovese, was murdered in New York, and people are just kind of like sat around and watched and didn't do anything. All right, attraction. That's being drawn to a person. There's different factors in aggression. So proximity, like the closer you are to someone, so that kind of goes with mere exposure effect. The more you're around them, the more likely you are to be attracted to it. Reciprocal linking, like the more you're more likely to like someone who likes you back. Similarity, so opposites don't attract. It's not really a thing, but the whole birds of a feather flock together. That's true. So similarity between people leads to attraction because you do have some kind of common ground. You can link through association, and that has to do with conditioning, which we're not there yet, but that was in your modules. And then attractiveness. And look at all the pictures of attractive people. That plays a big role in attraction. All right, so social facilitation. This is the concept that if you're really good at something, then you tend to perform better in front of a group. Going along with that is social impairment. Like if it's difficult and you're not very good at it, you'll do worse in front of a group of people. I'll pause here. No, I'll keep going. All right, so conformity study, that's adjusting your behavior to coincide with a group. So basically you're doing what everybody does. And that was Ash with his conformity study. Shh. I'm sorry. You come use the red scissors. Where you had the one person who was different from all of the other experimenters, and they gave the right answer to the question about the line length, but the other people purposely gave wrong answers and they ended up conforming. Okay. Where about 1/3 of the participants ended up conforming. Most of them conformed at least once. So you don't have to know all of the different parts about his result, except people ended up conforming. You need to know Milgram and his obedience study, which that's where they pretended to give people the electric shock because what it ends up proving is that people are obedient. Ordinary people will follow orders from someone that they think is an authority. That experiment raised ethical issues, not as much as Zimbardo and the role playing. You have the group dynamics, so the group aspects of social psychology. I will pause here and I will do this as my third video. No, I got one more video.